Trying to do CrossFit but can't shake pinchy hips? This might be the solution for you. When we perform any sort of thrusting movement where our hips go forward, we're telling the body, adapt every structure around my hip to be great at going forward. That's okay to a certain extent until we lose the ability to go backwards, seen as a compensatory squat. Losing that leverage will, for one, make it harder to express that hip extension force, but more importantly, you'll put yourself in a scenario of impingement. Now, what is impingement? This big scary word just means the closing off of a joint. The structures in between the head of the hip and its socket will become more compressed the more that we force that joint forward in its socket. When we extend the hip, the head of the hip has to posteriorly roll and glide anterior every time you perform that motion. There's nothing wrong with that inherently, but over time, you can stack up compression in that joint. Impingement is abnormal if you can't get out of it. So what's our solution? The reverse hip thrust. Heel elevation, back leg straight, and plantar flex. Think about hips behind heels to thrust that hip back in its socket so you can have more space to express power in your hip thrusting motion.